What is going on, you guys? I'm coming to you today with another deck analysis, and this is one of the decks I borrowed from a friend. We did some kind of short-term trading from our Gen Con decks, so and they were cool with me bringing to you this deck analysis. We're going to be taking a look at Quill, Hunter of the Devilish Spaceport. I mean, really, these names are just out of this world. Very, very cool. Very funny name. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Untamed, Brobnar, and Shadows in this deck. Alright, first we're going to look at our Untamed cards. Now, we actually have no upgrades or artifacts for Untamed here. We're going to look at creatures first. We're going to start off with the Dust Pixie. The Dust Pixie is just a 1-power creature, but Dust Pixie's giving us 2 amber when we play Dust Pixie, so this is just a great overall card, and it's also great if you have stuff that's going to bounce creatures back to your hand, because every time you play that, you're going to gain those 2 amber. We've got an Ancient Bear. The Ancient Bear is got Assault 2 and Power 5. Assault 2 is nice because you're just going to be able to do 2 extra damage before the attack even happens, which if they're a weak enough creature, it'll kill them outright. And if they've got armor, it helps you chew through that armor. Hunting Witch, definitely love Hunting Witch. Great first turn play because every time you play another creature, you gain an amber. Just a really good opening card. And here's a cool one that I hadn't seen before, Mushroom Man. 2 power, but Mushroom Man gets +3 power for each unforged key you have. Now, you're always going to have at least 1 unforged key, otherwise you'd win the game. So it means he's going to be at least a 5. But like he could be an 8 or even an 11 if you play him first turn. So he makes also a really cool first turn play. It's hard to kill an 11 power creature. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's look at our actions. Oh, we got some really, really nice actions. So first off, we got some that are just all right. We've got Vigor. We got 2 copies of Vigor, and now Vigor is going to let us heal a creature, heal up to 3 damage off a creature, and if we did heal that damage, we can gain 1. Actually combos well with Mushroom Man, because Mushroom Man can take a lot of damage. But it also gives us an amber, so this is a great way to get 2 amber by healing him. We've got 2 copies of Nature's Call. Nature's Call is really nice because that's bouncing creatures back to their hand. It's great when there's creatures that are causing you problems. It's great when there's creatures that have taunt or creatures that have enchantments on them. Or it's great if you want to put your own creatures back in your hand and get 2 amber off of them again. I love that one. If bouncing a creature isn't what you want, we can play Nocturnal Maneuver. We got a lot of actions for these guys here, and they're all good. And they're mostly all good actions too. It's going to gain us an amber, and it's going to exhaust up to 3 creatures. So it's a great way to deal with problematic creatures. Regrowth returns a creature from your discard pile to your hand. Again, another way to get a 2 amber creature like that little pixie back. Really like that one. We've got Save the Pack. This one's super strong. Super strong. Destroy each damaged creature and gain a chain. Easily worth it, especially if you can, clear the board of creatures. That's just tremendous. So that's really, really good. And we have Mimicry, which is one of my favorite cards because this one's very dynamic. It's always going to be different. Just you just look through your opponent's discard pile. The problem is they're going to know that you have something up your sleeve when you start looking through their discard pile. But the key is remember what actions they've played, and then then try to do this. But it's just a great way to use one of their own weapons against them. And it also combos well with Save the Pack. If they played something to damage a whole bunch of creatures, you wait until some new creatures come out, play that, and then destroy, just clear the board. All right, now we're gonna look at Shadows, and the first thing we've got is one of my favorite upgrades that I've ever seen. This is called the Ring of Invisibility. First off, it gives you an amber, and it gives the creature Elusive and Skirmish. Makes this creature really, really good in combat and really hard to kill because if they're attacking you, they're not taking damage in return. If you're attacking them, they're not even going to take damage because elusive. So you have to attack them multiple times. That's just really, really good. I really like it. Now, the funny thing is, it is not quite so good on a lot of Shadows creatures. So this is a card that's like made to go on other factions. This is just great. A great card in a deck like this that's going to naturally want to synergize with other stuff. That's our only upgrade. We've got some artifacts. We've got a Seeker Needle, which has the action to deal a damage to a creature. If the damage destroys that creature, I gain an amber. So just all around pretty decent artifact. Nothing huge, but nice. Great for those elusive creatures, right? And then the Subtle Maul, which is always annoying to your opponents, but it's to force somebody to discard. basically you're giving them a chain, kind of. You know, you're giving them one less card when it's their turn, and it's at random. So that's cool. Now we don't have a lot of creatures here. We've only got 3 creatures in this deck, but we do have Umbra. Umbra is here. Let me stack these up so they're not in the way. Umbra is going to be real nice. You know, basically they have skirmish. It's only power 2, but when they fight, they steal 1. So considering they have skirmish, as long as they don't die right away, they should be fine. You can help keep them alive by playing them next to a Shadow Self. We saw this in another deck recently, and the Shadow Self is just a great creature that's going to keep its neighboring creatures alive. Although it's power 9, it's not going to actually attack and do damage. It's just meant there to be a protective creature that's going to even protect against area damage spells. It just stops all damage that would go to its neighboring creatures and puts it on him instead. Then we've got Silvertooth. Overall quality creature, comes into play ready. You can use it to reap right away or attack if you need to. I think I usually use that one to reap right away. Pretty good creature. Now it's time for our actions. We have some awesome actions. So let's start off with Relentless Whispers. Deal 2 damage to a creature. If that damage destroys the creature, steal 1. And it gives you an amber also. Pawn Sacrifice. Oh, love this one. Love this one. Sacrifice a friendly creature. If you do, deal 3 damage each to 2 creatures. Nice way to put some damage on enemy creatures. 3 is a good amount, too. Here's one called Booby Trap. It's going to give you an amber, and it deals 4 damage to a creature that's not on a flank with 2 splash damage. Now, the problem is you're going to need like 3 creatures on your opponent's side out, which is great for like early to mid game when they start getting a bunch of creatures out, and you hit that middle one with a real big shot, and then a deal. You know, I've managed to take out 3 creatures with that before, so it's a cool card. Next up, Nerve Blast. You steal 1, and if you do, deal 2 damage to a creature. Why do they say if you do? Well, you wouldn't want to play that first turn because your opponent doesn't have anything to steal. Poison Wave, again, another great damage card. It's giving you an amber, and it's going to deal 2 damage to each creature. Really nice. And then when you do have those creatures that are hard to deal with, you've got the Oubliette. Purge a creature with power 3 or lower. Just gets them out of the game altogether. It's great for something like a Bad Penny or somebody that just keeps coming back. Now we're going to take a look at the Brobnar cards. Now, Brobnar may be one of my favorite factions now. They have such nasty stuff. They're all about just crazy big nasty damage and strong stuff. This one, right? When this creature gains destroyed, return this creature to its owner's hand and deal 3 damage to each creature in play. So, again, lots of damage out there. Put this on somebody, it makes them a time bomb. When they get killed, they're going to hurt everybody else. So if you've only got 1 creature that you can put out, that's a great one, especially if you're like overwhelmed. And that can happen in this game where your opponents just have so much stuff out and you just can't compete. You're like, why am I going to play 1 creature when you've got like 5 creatures that have the fight and steal ability on them? So I don't like, you know, sometimes you feel like you don't even want to play a creature because you're just letting your opponent steal from you. So, you know, Phoenix Heart, great way to do it in that case. Well, that was our only upgrade here. We got some artifacts though. We got a cannon. We have 2 cannons actually. Artifact, I mean, all right, first off, artifacts are kind of rare. Having 2 of the same one in the deck is great. So we have, in this action, 2 damage to a creature. If you get both of these out, you can start doing 4 damage to a creature per turn or splitting it up. That's a great, effective way to put lots of damage on creatures. And it doesn't matter if they have elusive or whatever. That's going to be real hard to bypass all those cannons. And I like the artwork on that one, too. It looks really cool. It looks almost like kind of 40K-ish, maybe. And we have another artifact, so 3 artifacts for Brobnar. This is huge, and I think these really help make this deck really strong and make this faction maybe the strongest faction in this deck, because 3 artifacts is huge. And this one, it lets you ready and fight with a friendly creature, which is huge. Again, I talked about this before. Anything that lets you break out of your faction when you're playing that faction is very strong. So you don't even have to have a Brobnar creature. You can fight with anything else. And especially if we've got like that elusive card or the Ring of Invisibility, which again synergizes perfectly. You can put this on any creature in your deck, and this will let you ready and fight with it. And it's going to skirmish. You know, you're going to be able to just do so much damage that way. It's just gorgeous. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Alright, so we've got some creatures. Let's take a look at some of these creatures. First off, these creatures are all powerful. I mean, they're just strong. We've got Crump, 6 power. After an enemy creature is destroyed fighting Crump, its controller loses an amber. That's just nasty right away. We've got the Ganger Chieftain, 5 power. When you play him, you may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. Already, that's nasty. Really nasty. We've got Bumpsy, 5 power. When you play him, your opponent loses an amber. Okay, I mean, he's maybe like the least nasty out of everything, but still nasty. The Headhunter, when you fight with him, you gain an amber. So again, like there's no weak. These are all strong creatures, right? And then the nastiest of all of them is this Fire Spitter, especially if you're able to get. Oh, he's so nasty. 5 power plus an armor, so he's already harder to kill because of that. Before you fight, he's dealing 1 damage to each enemy creature. He can potentially clear the board every turn if your opponent, like against the 2 decks that I originally got at Gen Con, I have a lot of 1 power creatures. And so he's just going to kill all of them. All of them. It's just so nasty. Oh, he's insane. And now if you're able to, and the thing is, you could fight with him potentially twice if you get that artifact out, ready and fight with a creature. You know, and then if he has Skirmish, he can't even take any damage on return. And so I've seen some really, really wicked synergy in this deck, and this guy is definitely a great opportunity for that synergy. We do have a couple of actions also. So we have 2 copies of Warsong, which is great once you get some creatures out. For the remainder of the turn, gain an amber each time a friendly creature fights. 2 copies of that. And 1 copy of Burn the Stockpile. Burn the Stockpile. Play. If your opponent has 7 or more, they lose 4. So you also have some control here, trying to help somebody from running away with all of the amber. So Quill, Hunter of the Devilish Spaceport, easily one of the more powerful decks I have seen so far, and one of the things that makes it so strong is the artifacts. There's a lot of artifacts in here, and that's uncommon to see that many, at least from my experience. But the other thing is that there's great synergy between these clans. I have a feeling this would be a high or moderately high chained deck once we get, you know, like a database of chains. It seems like it is very, very capable of not just winning, but winning very, very strongly. Again, no deck is perfect. Even a really strong deck can just have a really bad draw and not get what it needs or get countered. But this is one of the strongest decks I've ever seen. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, click that bell for alerts. Stay tuned for future videos. You don't want to miss this deck in action because we will be doing battle duels with all of these new decks as well. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day.